Hello and welcome back to the final installment of Computer Malfunction Season... Computer Malfunction Year. Yeah, I admit it. It's been slow going this year. I can't even blame COVID or anything like that. I haven't been working anymore. Haven't been working less either. Mostly it's just that Offspring, Kim and I are both full-time workers, and our shifts, I do graveyard shifts, she does day shifts, so we just don't get that much time together. We get to this when we can, and so it's still going to be slow going for the foreseeable future. But we've got Superman 3 today.
Yay.
Damn it. We begin with Gus Gorman, played by Richard Pryor, who at the time of this movie was a big hit star, but, well, this is not going to be his best work. He's at the unemployment office, and he has just been denied because he has run out of time.
No.
Next.
Wait a minute, what about this week? I need this week.
Not topical at all.
But then Gus falls for the spam of the early 80s, matchbooks.
Dude, what's with that phone number? Is that just...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
6, 7, 8. Obviously, someone wasn't expecting people to be able to pause and zoom in. Still, would it be that hard to come up with a 555 number?
Or at least formatted like a phone number?
Oh, and for those of you who have seen the first two Superman movies, remember their epic space titles, zooming in and all that? Here's what we have now. God, this looks like if Ron Weasley produced a Peter Sellers work on vaudeville.
Jeez, Milton Berle thought that joke was hacky.
More stupid than that time you locked your keys out of the car?
Hey, sir, you see those keys there? Sir? Oh, screw you!
Say thank you.
Okay, I will admit, that is a funny gag. You get one out of a lot of bad attempts. Stand back, citizens! Any of you could have done this!
But wait, it's just not cinematic waterboarding without a mime. Mimes! Make the idiocy complete.
Oh, this is hacky. And for the first time in this movie, we're going to cut away from bad comedy to Richard Pryor. This will also be the last time we cut away from bad comedy to Richard Pryor.
Good Lord. How did you do that?
I don't know. I just did it.
That's him, Ross Webster. This is just after he received the award for Humanitarian of the Year.
But it's not an Iron Satan mask.
Not all humanitarian awards are Iron Satan masks. Most of them are, but not all of them.
She's vice president of Websco Industries.
I really don't understand you, Olson. A boring banquet, and you bring me 3,000 boring pictures.
Well, Chief, that was pretty boring too.
And to ramp up the excitement, Clark Kent is going to Smallville. Oh God, somebody save me.
Well, Clark, you know some people get to go all the way to Smallville, and then there are others of us who have to go to Bermuda.
Golly.
Bye.
Have a good time.
And Lois is off and out of the movie.
Wait, Lois, take us with you.
Meanwhile, Gus has already graduated the adult education course on computers that he somehow could afford to pay for, and has found gainful employment. And he figures out the thing most of us figure out with our first paychecks.
Oh, yeah. State tax, federal tax, Social Security tax.
Who's FICA? Why's he getting all my money?
And so Gus discusses with a coworker the whole fraction of a cent thing and how they round down and there's all the fraction of a cent floating around. If you've seen Office Space, you know this bit.
He says it should be cooked on the outside of the turkey, and she cooks it on the inside of the turkey. Yeah, my mother told my Aunt Helen. Aunt Helen's my father's half-sister. I told you that, right?
Yeah.
Alright, screw the kryptonite from later in the movie. This is what's going to turn Superman evil. I think I'm going there now. And the buzz is stopped because of a chemical plant fire. As always happens around Superman for some reason. Jimmy sneaks in to get some photos and Superman follows to keep Jimmy from killing himself. Because that is ostensibly a valid goal. And this is actually a pretty decent action scene. It's got some clever moments.
Hey, how can I help? Get this man a helmet. Oh, you. Forget the helmet.
Well, he just took that right in stride. Good for him.
It's not too silly. It's not too physically impossible. Yeah, there's some extension on, oh, could Superman really lift that? Could he lift an entire lake without it breaking, etc.? But I can live with that because this is exciting and Superman's actually helping people instead of hovering above them looking menacing. Seriously, Zack Snyder, you think that's a good idea?
Maybe.
Superman encounters a room full of Chekhov's jars of guns, I guess you would call it.
Jars full of acid that, when you superheat them, explode.
Everybody got that?
And Jimmy, being an idiot, needs saving. And this is why Supergirl Jimmy doesn't work, because that guy was cool. And the firefighters suddenly lose their water pressure for no well-explained reason.
You get to drink from the fire hose! The pump house is gone! What? The pump house! We lost the water pressure!
So Superman has to go and freeze a lake and bring it down here. Again, I'm not sure if this would actually work physically, but it shows some clever thinking, and there's something behind it at least.
I guess I don't understand why he didn't just use the freeze breath.
A little bit of a Glongold scheme there.
Seems unnecessary, especially the part about the yacht.
So Clark goes to his reunion.
And there was much rejoicing.
And meet Lana Lang. The reason no one in the movie is upset that Margot Kidder is not around. I know that's a little mean, but she's better than Lois in just about every way in this movie. And this is Brad. He is Smallville's Gaston.
There's only one guy in your dance card right now, huh, honey? That's good old
Brad Wilson. Hi, Brad.
Hey, Ken. Long time no see. You know, see? Come on, Lana.
No more needs to be said because that's all there is to him. Meanwhile, Gus's scheme to embezzle from the company has worked. Big time.
Damn, and that's in 1983 dollars. I'd take that in today's money.
The next day after the reunion, Clark is helping Lana clean up, and we see that they really do have chemistry. Again, I think a lot more than Clark and Lois had.
Do you know how lucky you are to live in Metropolis? The big apricot?
The big apricot.
Could be worse. Gotham's a big durian. Again, not to belabor the point, I'm not really usually one for shipping characters, but in this case, they really do go together.
You know, years later you can look at someone and think, well, I guess that's the one that got away.
Meet Ross Webster, the Hydrox cookie to Lex Luthor's Oreo. His sister and he are running the company together, and they have discovered Gus's embezzlement.
Mr. Webster, it's time for a massage.
Party still on 4th, got a new helium tank shipment.
And the hot blonde from the opening titles is his aide, masseuse, guru. There's not much she does in the movie, to be honest.
Men like me because I'm shrill and useless.
He'll keep on quietly taking the bread from our mouths. He'll keep a low profile, and he won't do a thing to call attention to himself.
And dramatic irony in 3, 2, 1.
Richard, don't look into the camera. So, now it's time for bowling in Smallville. Clark is trying to help Lana's son score well, while Brad is trying to score by helping Lana's son, and Clark wins but is breaking property to do it. on one hand, it's kind of nice he's trying to help a kid, but on the other hand, not only are you breaking property, but this kid's not going to learn to do it right because he's going to think he's a superhero when he didn't do anything. You're not always going to be there to sneeze, Superman. So Webster calls Gus up to his office and recruits him. Although not as reluctantly as you would think, he's kind of right on board with doing the criminal stuff. And this is going to be a point later on that they keep acting like Gus is some sort of innocent in all this, and he is not innocent. He knows what he's doing, he's just not the one coming up with the ideas. He wants to use Gus to sabotage Columbia so he can corner the coffee market. So now he's going to be the Weather Wizard. He will be shifting villains later on. And he's off to, of all places, Smallville.
Coincidence?
Right when Clark is in town.
I think not!
And by the way, this isn't going to matter. He's only going to interact with one person that we've seen, and it's not Clark. Or Lana. Or Lana's son.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're Superman. You have perfect control of your strength. World of Cardboard and all that. You shouldn't screw that up that badly.
Just because we know he's a villain doesn't mean you know he's a villain. Clark, Lana, and Ricky go off on a nice picnic.
Somebody like you could do really well in Metropolis.
I wouldn't want to be a nuisance to you.
I don't think you could ever be a nuisance to me.
Honestly, you kind of remind me of my mom. And Clark hears that Ricky is hurt. Because everyone always gets hurt when he's around. I swear, is he saving the world or does he just keep fixing his own divots? This action scene is less cool.
Dude, what's with the dirty look? He's threshing in his own field. He had no way of seeing the kid.
It's not his fault some dumbass went wandering around in a field of wheat.
While he could hear the tractors.
Bye.
I was looking for Buster. Buster?
Why'd you curse me with this spooky voice?
I see Superman every day.
You do? Could you get me his autograph?
I don't know. If I had a nickel for every time some little kid...
And the award for Best Editing goes to... So Gus bluffs his way into the computer plant where he needs to go to connect to the satellites. And who happens to be the night guardsman there? No one.
Oozes like Brad, throws back boozes like Brad, tries to beat up Metropolis newsies like Brad.
He drinks Brad under the table, no small feat, and manages to hack into the system. And of course there's going to be hijinks!
1, 2, 3.
Yes, computers in the 80s. They were magical cauldrons. Make a spell in them. Meanwhile, Sark gets attacked while on the game grid. Oh wait, I got the wrong movie. No, that's right. So Gus manages to use his magical weather computer thing to make disaster level weather in Columbia. And we do mean disaster. People are getting killed over this.
I think they killed the priest.
The most awesome display of natural forces unleashed since Noah's
If I laugh any harder, I'll split my side.
Pattern seems to defy all known laws of weather systems known to science.
Poor little Columbia.
Okay, that's just cool. And now Webster, finally having cornered the coffee market, decides to go after controlling all the oil in the world. Then Gus shows up and, funnily, tells the story of how Superman saved everything. And I swear the scene was put in because we already paid for the special effects, even though we rewrote the story so it was going to happen when we didn't see it. Because other than showing off your effects, what good is this scene?
The Mickey was on the bottom, Lillian on the top. It's the Ross. It was the big.
Webster decides he needs to kill Superman, so he wants to get some kryptonite. And while I'd say what happens is kind of dumb, I will grant that at least they don't just happen to find yet another chunk of this super rare mineral. See, what's going to happen is Gus uses a satellite, for something maybe a satellite could do, maybe, to get a spectrographic analysis of the region where Krypton would be, although how do you know if you're locking onto that planet? It's such a pinpoint. And they figure out how to make kryptonite. Although, since it's radioactive and not simply a chemical mixture, I question how that would work. Plus, there's at least one chemical that is unknown to them. Probably going to be the critical factor, I think, since we don't have naturally occurring kryptonite on Earth.